Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my part 2 ready for you, served up hot and ready. So here we go. I'm excited so much to get into this with you. And again, there's a lot of things I could get into with my timeline that I shared on the last video. By the way, if you haven't watched part 1, watch that first, because some things I explain and teach in that you need to see for the second one. So please watch that. The link is in the description box below. So go ahead and watch that first, please. Otherwise, you're going to miss some stuff probably in this video. So getting into that. So here we go. I'm going to get right into this. And again, I'm the Exalted Lamb 1, and Exalted Lamb 1 is on Telegram, and I'll have also include a link in the description box below to sign up for Telegram. And my motto is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. Ephesians 5:11, the Exalted Lamb 1, and that's me. And by the way, the Exalted Lamb 1. And he is number 1. Anyway, so that's why the name. So I'm going to get into this. There's a lot of things I could get into. It's like I said, with the timeline, starts with the Revelation 12 sign. Actually, even the birth of Jupiter exiting Virgo on 9/9/2017, and then 14 days later being a mirror of the timeline that's coming up here for 14 days / 16 days. Anyway, long story with all that, but you can watch my first video, get a little bit of glimpse of that, and even video before that to see my timeline of stuff that's pretty nailed in the sky and signs and everything. And then the Lord wants me to deal with some of these things, a lot of the things that have been in predictive programming and movies and such, and the birth of the Antichrist with 220 and 221 of this year. So again, February is the second month on the Gregorian calendar, but the 12th month on the Roman calendar. This is the revised Roman Empire, like the Bible describes, and the ruler of the whole revised Roman Empire, which is Stinky Bo, the 44th Pres, the Antichrist, no Obama, all that stuff. So I have many names for him. As I'm covering on this video, I covered some other dates in here in this timeline, including Valentine's Day and the day before. And now I'm really hitting most of the stuff I'm going to be talking about these 2 dates. Again, remember, February 20th and February 21st, 220 and 221. And there's so much stuff. The reason why this is probably the most important date in all this timeline is because, and they consider it the most important, they do the most programming in all movies and TV and all the media, mass media and everything, because it's lightning falling from heaven, that's Satan being kicked out of heaven on that day. Barack Obama, like Jesus said, I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven in Luke 10:18, and lightning from heaven is Barack Obama, and that's the name of the Antichrist. And lightning is going to strike. He's going to die on the 16th. It's going to be reported on the 17th right here. He's going to die on the 16th, which is also 2/16, the day he was born, the 216th day of the year. And then 2/17 is going to be reported. That's also a day that he was his birthday as well, because on a leap year, every leap year, April 4th is the 217th day of the year. So every normal year, his birthday, August 4th, is the 216th day of the year. Every leap year, his birthday is the 217th day of the year. And those end up being both of his death days. What a coincidence. Not a coinky dink. Okay. And then lightning falls from heaven. Satan's kicked out of heaven and strikes his dead body. And then he comes back, and basically Satan is reincarnated. He is an incarnation of Barack Obama. The Satan is inside. How much is left of Obama, I have no idea. If there's a little bit left, I mean, or if Satan just accesses him as he needs to, who knows? But I've seen a lot of these people. They're basically a demon, and that person who they were, like Trump or whoever it might be, they're way down there. I mean, and then they just access their information, all that stuff. But they've taken over. They've taken the persona, and they've become in a sense a caricature of a person. That's why I call Trump thin skin, because he's a caricature of a person. And it's like a what do you call it? Like a fairy tale creature. That's Trump thin skin or Trump still skin, weaving basically straw into gold and all that stuff. And his has such a thin skin, as a caricature of himself and all that. So that's a demon playing a part in a human body. So, and the actual person is way down deep somewhere. Who knows? So anyway, keep going here. So basically, as I shared also in my first video, compression, decompression, I explained that more in the first video. But what I want to talk about is in this is also, like I said before in my last video, 23 is hiding 2, and then it's 1 and 2, 1 plus 2, or 2 plus 1. So you see how 23 is hiding February 21st. Also, how is this hiding February 21st? I showed that in my first video in a way, but I want to kind of show it in a different way. This is also showing the year, not only 221, but the year as well. Because you take the 9, you flip it to a 6, like I showed in my first video. Again, you got to watch that. This cycle of the Ouroboros cycle is what I'm going to call it, the Ouroboros cycle. Okay, you got to watch that and see how to explain it. But when you go from 1 all the way around to 6, it's a 6, but at that angle all the way around on the bottom of the circle, it's a 9. So they look at a 6 as a 9, or birth as rebirth, or birth as death, or birth as death and rebirth, because it's all your perspective on this Ouroboros cycle, okay? And so 239 becomes 236, and that is a number that's all over iPad Goat. I've shared it many, many times. I'm going to share some new things that I haven't shared before on iPad Goat with the 236s, and then I'm going to share right now what that means. So 236, and by the way, the code in a lot of movies is 239 or 923. So people look at it as 23rd of September, and this has been around for probably on YouTube for almost 6 years. Since if we go to this next September, almost 6 years ago or 5.5 years ago, September was all this massive stuff about September and all these people finding these codes in movies and such. Okay, and if you look up 923 in movies on the YouTube or something, you'll see tons of movies with 923 or 239 is more common as far as where it's put in the order. Typically 239, sometimes 923, sometimes 293, different things like that are right in the same area. But I'm going to show you what it really is. And in this video, I'm going to show you a lot of things that are in all these codes that things you've seen before. Some of us in the truth community on YouTube and all that stuff for years been wondering about and all this stuff, and I'm gonna solve them all with one fell swoop. It's all about February 20th and 21st, not only 20th and 21st of February, but also 2024. And there's nailing it down to the year, as well as that timeline I have nails it down to the exact time frame with the celestial signs in the heavens based on Revelation 12 sign. 777 days later, another alignment of 5 planets in the sun, same 5 planets. 777 days later, another alignment of 5 planets in the sun. 777 days, 777 days later, another alignment of the 5 planets in the sun. On February 9/10th of 2024. Okay, and then we have this 14/16 day timeline. Anyway, okay, here we go. So that is 239 is hiding 236. What is that? You have 2, and then 3 is decompressed into 2 plus 1, and then what's 6? 6 is hiding, which is decompressed, which is compressing, but if you decompress, 2 plus 4. So again, what's in 3? Only 2 and 1 are in 3, because you have 3 and 0, big 3, or 2 and 1. But the options in 6 are 3 and 3 and 1 and 5. But the one it's hiding in this case is 2 and 4. So 236 is hiding 2. In 3 is 2 plus 1, and in 6 is 2 plus 4. So 2, 21, 24. And I'm going to show that many ways. And show you how it's confirmed in so many different ways. It's not just a theory and everything. And usually the thing, the things I'm going to show, there's multiple things in the scene and in the movies, of course, that would prove that. And I'm not going to show all of it. I'm just going to show a few things to corroborate things. But typically I'll have like 5 to 10 to 20 things in a movie to corroborate what I'm saying. But I'm not going to show all those things. Otherwise, you'd have like a 10-hour video on this. So, okay. But first, before I get into that, the first thing I want to talk about right now is talking about how I predicted who was going to be in the Super Bowl. Okay. So this was when the playoffs first started. It was a few days after the playoffs, went into the playoffs, and I don't watch football anymore pretty much. But I knew that the Super Bowl, of course, coming up was going to be in the time frame that we're talking about. And I know it's massive predictive programming, and even the stuff I've shared in my last video and other videos in previous years, that the Super Bowl was set up for, showing disaster that was coming. Okay, whether it's right on that starts on that day or the next few days after that, which it looks like is going to be the next few days after that. But there could be something that happens on that day because we're in the time frame there. Okay, so I decided to look into the different names of the different teams. Even though, again, I don't. It's all scripted. It's all planned. If you don't know that, look it up. Look up some people that do this stuff with gematria, with sports, and it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, if you don't know that already, you're living in the wrong world. You're not living in reality. Sports, professional sports, are completely playing you. It's all predictive programming. It's programming for the Antichrist coming and all this stuff. And I'm going to show a little bit glimpse of that here in this video and on this here. But so at that time, I went through these different teams that were going to the playoffs, and they were narrowing down into these groups here, right? And so I picked right here, as they narrowed down to these groups here, these teams here, I started picking these two. I went through the gematria and symbols of all these teams right here, and I'm like, okay, this is most obvious, and this is most obvious in this group, and I'm like, okay, these two look like it's going to happen. This is weeks before the divisionals here, okay, and so I'm like, wow. For example, San Francisco is in English gematria 1-2-2, and Kansas City is 1-2-2. So backwards is 2-2-1. February 21st. They're both. And then I'm like, okay, those are both in Super Bowl 54 as well. And I covered that as well back in a few years ago in Super Bowl 54. And they were in that as well. Well, I'm like, okay, it looks like they're going to come back. And so I shared that with a few friends and things. And they're like, well, you should share it. And I'm like, And then I decided to, once these were set to be the matches in the divisionals here, the divisional championships here of the National and American League here, then I decided to go forward with this. I'm predicting at this time here, I was saying it's going to be San Francisco. It looks like, I wasn't saying for sure, but I said it looks like San Francisco and Kansas City are going to be in the Super Bowl. And that was 5 days before these divisionals here. Okay, so, and then what happened? Boom. So this is my actual post 5 days before the divisional playoffs here, the championships, I should say, whatever you call them. Not the championship games, whatever. That's what I meant, whatever. Okay, see, again, I'm not... Based on the numbers, birth of the Antichrist Obama on 2/21/2024, and my possible predictions weeks ago, the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers could be the returning to the Super Bowl, the superb owl. And there's a lot of meanings for the Super Bowl. It's also, I forgot to put this in here, and now that I'm thinking about it, but the Super Bowl is the eclipse that's happening on April 8th, 2024. It's a bowl in the sky. If you look at it most people are not in the path of the eclipse, the direct path. They're outside it and looking at it, and it looks like a bowl. Or if you see the eclipse, you're looking straight at it and you got the full eclipse, you look at the bowl from the top. It is the Super Bowl. And guess what? From Super Bowl 58 to that Super Bowl that we're looking at, the eclipse on 4/8/2024, is 58 days, if you include the day. 58 days. It's crazy. So that's saying Super Bowl 58 is 58 days to the Super Bowl. And the wisdom of the superb owl. Anyway, long story without wow. So anyway, and then so boom, I said that, and then on that day, 5 days later, it was these two. Okay, so, and why am I sharing that? It's because my basis for weeks before this, for even counting these two as possibles, was for all the numbers and symbolisms that they had over other teams for February 20th and 21st, 2024. Okay, that's it. So I'm saying there's some validation, and I made a lot of predictions that have happened. A lot of people that have followed me a while know. A lot of symbolic examples on exact days, some exact predictions on the exact days and things like that for years. And so my timeline is solid as far as these events and these type of events that are going to happen on these days. Now, I've been waiting for the actual events to happen, but hundreds of symbolic events have happened on these exact days of the timeline, 1 through 14, because it's a 14-day process with a pre-day and a post-day. Okay, for years on the exact days that the numerology hits. For example, like I've shared many times, Obama's the 7th day and the 8th day. He's had many examples, like he his last presidential portrait was rolled out on September 7th. That's the 7th day. Again, that's his death day. That's Obama Day. And then there's been several things where it's rolled out on the 8th day about Obama. There's just tons of examples of all this. Okay, so anyway, not getting into all that. So here's some examples. I'll give you a few examples of how I figured out that these two would be in the Super Bowl. One of them is KC and SF for Kansas City and San Francisco. KC is 11-3 and SF is 19-6. Again, they're together in the Super Bowl. So added together, you have K is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2, 3 is decompressed into 2 plus 1, and then SF is 20, 19 plus 6 is 25. Now it looks like it's February 21st, 2025, but no, watch this. You literally take 2 and then 21, this becomes 21. This is how this works. When your numbers are together, it can be anything that they are together. This could even literally be 22,125. Okay, for different reasons. And I've literally shown, I should have, I literally have something about that. When you add up these days, I have so much stuff. I have a couple things that are mind-blowing, and I just couldn't get to it because the Lord wanted me to get into this stuff about a lot of these different things in predictive programming, movies and TV and things like that. So, and then I ran out of time. So there's some goodness. Anyway, so that's 2, and then 21 is 20 and 1 decompressed. Okay, one way to decompress it, and then we bring down 25 again. Okay, now watch. Now we got 2, 20, and then right down, and then 1 plus 25 is 26, and or 20, 26, and I'm doing this. I'm skipping a step here, which is 1 plus 25 is 26, and then 26 is 20 and 6. Okay, obviously. And then what's 6? 2 and 4. So boom, 220, 20, and 2 and 4. See how that ends up that? Now listen, this could be multiple things, of course. But the fact that all these things end up being the exact days and years I've been saying for a while, and even last year, the day before, and the year before that, but they end up being now the exact correct year. Now that I know that this adds up to 2024, it's crazy. It's not even, pretty much all these are not even off by 1 digit. There's a couple that are off by 1 digit, but then you can remove that one by the rule of Kalel. That's I have in my first video. Watch that if you haven't. And then look, following the resignation of Pope Benedict on 28th of February 2013, a papal conclave elected Bergoglio. Okay, so he chose Francis as his papal name in honor of St. Francis of Assisi. Well, what's hiding in here? What's hiding in here is the day he chose this, or the resignation that they want to show, the resignation, or in a sense, the death of Pope Benedict, which equals death equals birth. So resignation is like a death. If you're not that person anymore, so you died to that position. So then death is birth. So that's death is a birth, and the birth is 10. 2 plus 8 is 10. February 10th, 2 or 24. February 10th of February 24. That's the first day. Get it? Okay, hopefully. And then he's Saint Francis of Assisi. You took on the name, which is as Isis backwards. As Isis. So he's showing that's him and Obama, because Obama's Isis. As Isis. Get it? Isis backwards. I have so much stuff with that. In fact, another thing I could share is that they're looking for Sirius. Sirius is going to, on 220 and 221, over the Golden Gate Bridge. Sirius is going to be right over the Golden Gate Bridge, making a triangle between the two towers, which is in Freemasonry, on that morning. And Sirius is an anagram of you are Isis. It's crazy. Oh, man. See, I couldn't even get to that. I have so much to get into. I can't even tell you. San Francisco is St. Francis. Okay. Look, Papa Francisco. He is St. Francis. And they're showing that he's Francisco. In Spanish or whatever, it's Francisco. Okay. And then San Francisco is 122 in English order. No, 221 reverse. And also Kansas City, like I told you earlier, is 122 22. So both of these are going to Super Bowl, and they both equal the exact same in English ordinal. I don't think so. Not a coinky dink. Okay, and then it just so happens to be that the 49ers. So we're talking about San Francisco. The other part of the name of the team, San Francisco, and then 49ers is 49ers. 49ers equals 163. So does Barack Hussein Obama. So there we got St. Francis, we got Pope Francis, and we got Stinky BO, the 44th Prez. So both of them together in one name and one. That's why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now. Is either one could win because of all the gematria and symbolism of both teams of Kansas City. But if there ends up being one that wins, my first choice, based on all the symbolism, kind of edges out Kansas City is the 49ers. Unless there's some disaster, there's a possible there could be some disaster that happens that puts it off or stops it or whatever. I'm saying that's a possibility. I'm not going to predict that. I'm saying in my last video, there's stuff right after that. If this is the time, okay. But if there is a winner, I'm predicting first possible would be the 49ers, and then second would be Kansas City. And then Kansas City was shown as the winners in the iPad Goat under the woman sobbing, the Muslim woman sobbing in iPad Goat, as I showed in my first part of this video series. So watch part 1 if you haven't yet. There's a lot in there you're missing. Now, by the way, there's Obama holding 13, and there's the quarterback for San Francisco, starting quarterback, Brock Purdy, okay, and he's 13. What's 13? Rebellion. And it's biblical number for rebellion. He's the lawless one, the rebel, okay? And he's example of that. He probably, whether he knows it or not, or knows some of it or not, and check this out even more. I got a lot more examples, but I'm just going to show you a few things on this. Watch this. Barack Hussein. This guy's Barack Hussein. His first name, middle name, and Hussein is Arabic for handsome. Okay, that's what Hussein means in Arabic. In fact, the Mahdi, the savior of the Muslims, is going to have the name Hussein. That's another reason why he's the Mahdi or Mahdi, and he will be the Mahdi or Mahdi. He's Hussein. He has to have the name Hussein, which means handsome. Okay, and now watch. What's this guy's name? Brock Purdy. So this is Arabic for handsome. This is Southern for pretty. He's Purdy. Barack Pretty. Barack Handsome. Get it? Hopefully you get it. This is crazy. It's subtle like that. We're talking about homonyms here that sound the same. Barack. Handsome and pretty. Handsome and pretty. Barack is handsome. Barack is pretty. And by the way, Barack is a Baphomet. He's a male and female clone. Okay, that would fit perfectly. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So these jackwagons got together on September 23rd, 2015. Okay, and that's a picture of them. Now, I want to show you something. This is the picture of the audience hall at the Vatican. And if you don't know this by now, there's a huge, in that whole hall is this massive, the whole hall is a big snake's head. And that snake head, the Pope sits right there in the mouth of the snake because the snake is eating him. And if you were to see, I've shown this in past videos, if you were to see from the Pope's vantage point, if you look at the people in the entrance, the snake is literally eating the people. And it's in a little bit different way. But right here you can see the fangs, eyes, it's the white serpent eating the Pope. And then look at this. So we got Stinky Bill right here. This was his presidential portrait put on its side. Again, like I shared earlier, with September 9th. Which is September 7th. 7th day is Barack Day, Obama Day. So anyway, so that's a white serpent eating the white guy, in a sense, right? There's the black guy, or the black suited guy. He's white and white, black and black. The black serpent eating the black guy. See that? Black serpent? See his eye right here? It's a black serpent eating this guy. See, I'm telling you, look at that. This white serpent's eating the white guy. Again, this yin and yang. It's the birth of the two. This is a marriage of these two, and I've shared that in previous videos. It's very sick. These two are getting married, and they had their pre-marriage back in February 23rd, 2015, and I've proved that in many ways on my videos. Okay, and then so see him eating here. Now, what's crazy about this? Look at this. He literally is wearing the exact same suit as he back then as he has in his presidential portrait that was revealed many years later. Black suit, silver tie. Okay, black suit, silver tie, and white shirt. Watch this. Now watch. Silver tie, silver, that becomes in the snake a silver tongue. Silver tongue. Who's silver-tongued? Silver-tongued. If you are silver-tongued, you are good at persuading people to do things. I.e., this is so funny. I thought it was so funny. I.e., a silver-tongued politician. Is that a silver-tongued politician who's a snake? Hope you get that. So they're both, what I'm saying is they're both being eaten by the snake. This example, he's being eaten by the snake. This example is being eaten by the snake. That's an example when they are reborn and basically Satan and maybe even one of his second in command is going to completely possess the Pope more than they're already, because we know that Satan will enter the Antichrist at some point. So he's going to enter. The day this happens is in when they're eaten. So he's going to eat them. If you think about it, if something eats something, then that's inside them, and then they're it's not. The snake is the snake still. He's eating something. He's taking control, right? So he's taking control on that day. Is basically what it's saying. So look, eaten by the snake, and this is what the Lord's led me to show me these imageries, show me what this is saying. Eaten by the snake is first letter code to prove this out. EBTS. Okay, now watch. 2, we're going to bring that down. 20, we're going to bring that down. 5 plus 19 is 24. See that? That's the day they're eaten by the snake. That's the day lightning falls from heaven. Again, 220 and 221. I'm proving it. Okay. And then again, the day that they met was 23rd of September, 2015. Now watch. Again, 2, 3 plus 9 is 12. 2, we get rid of the 0. 2, and then 1 plus 5 is 6. Let's keep going. 2, and then we switch the 1 and the 2 to 2 and 1. And then 20, this becomes a 26. So out of 26, you decompress into 20 and 6. And there we go. And then watch, we do it one more time. 2, 21, 20, and then 6 decompresses into 2 and 4. There we go. Again, another way of looking at it. Bam. It's hidden. And then we have 239, again, was the day that they got together here, right? 23rd of September. And that was the 23rd of September is the 266th day of the year. And then he happens to be the 266th Pope. Not a coincidence. And then he is the Antichrist, which is 666, right? Which 266 is 2 6s and 1 6, which is 666. So he is 266, the 266th Pope. That's a fact. And he is 666 because it's 2 6s and 1 6. So they're both this date and this number. Why? Why does that matter? These are both 212 because 2, 3 plus 9 is 12, and 2, 6 plus 6 is 12. But that's really the 21st of February, 21st of February, or backwards 21st of February, 21st of February. However you want to look at it. Get it? 21st. There you go. See? And I'm going to just keep showing this. 239, or an example of that is 23rd of September, but it's a coded thing here. Another way of looking at it is 239 is the 52nd prime. Why does that matter at all? Because the 52nd prime is substantial, because it also kind of mirrors another 52nd, which is the 52nd day. The 52nd day of the year is February 21st, the birth of the Antichrist. So 239 is also 221, like I've shared. And I'm going to keep sharing this. And then if you go from the Revelation 12 sign to the eclipse, that's basically the false Christ Obama, and linking in, controlling his body with the mark, okay, is, again, look, 239. But what is this really? This is the Revelation 12 sign, the 23rd of September, but it's also the day of birth of the Antichrist, because, bam, in here is 2, 1 plus 2 is, 3 plus 9 is 12, and then we have that O, that's an O, 0 becomes O, and O is 6, or 15 or 6, and that's 2 plus 4. So literally you have 21st of February, 24. So it's pointing, so that's a birth, and this is a birth. This is lightning falling from heaven going into Syncope, and then a few months later, when the aliens come and everything, and they come up with a system to put everybody into the mark, and then his body is forced into to his head, the false Christ or the false body on that day. But birth and birth, 2 births. Also, look at Sherlock Holmes. This is all the mythology of Sherlock Holmes and everything. And the street number 221B, the famous address of Sherlock Holmes, right? It says, replacing the logical address of 239 Baker Street. The real logical address should be 239. So they're basically saying that 239 is 221. See? 239 is 221. So 239, for example, is the birth of the Antichrist on the Revelation 12 sign, Jupiter actually in Virgo, and then the sign after that is 23rd of September. But really what it is February 21st. And then who is it a birth of? Sherlock Holmes, or Sherlock Holmes exactly is 163, and English John Marshall is exactly Barack Hussein Obama also. And that's a massive coincidence. Again, this is the day of the birth of the Antichrist, or the birth of Sherlock, or the place residence of Sherlock Holmes, the place of the Antichrist, and that's literally Sherlock Holmes equals Barack Obama, and these two equally match each other. See how they're saying it secretly, that this is really that, that's really that? Crazy. Again, remember this. 236 is 22124. Okay, so now let's get into this. So in iPad Goat, I'm going to show you two sets of arrows here. The first set of arrows here, I'm going to get into in just a second. But first is, this is showing February because this is fireworks. So it could either be 4th of July, New Year's, or Chinese New Year. And it's Chinese New Year. And Chinese New Year is February 10th, and that's the first day of the timeline. It's 9th into the 10th is the eve of New Year, and then the 10th is New Year. Okay? And then, like I've shared in previous videos, this explosion and that explosion are the color of when he reaches for the girl, okay, the South Korean girl, that her name is Sun Tzu. When Sun Tzu, or Chinese girl, I should say, but she has a tiger on her back, so she could be both South Korean or Korean, or Sun Tzu is based on Chinese or whatever. It just could be Asian in general. It's a lot of symbolism. When he reaches for her, he has a diamond ring or a ring that shines, not a diamond, but a ring that shines this and then that. And that is the only stone that shines, that has this color and that color, is an amethyst. And amethyst equals 666, and an amethyst is the birthstone for February. And this is the year of the dragon, and this is the Chinese New Year, the year of the dragon, amethyst, month of birthstone of February, proving that. And then right here we have a February date that's hidden, upside down and backwards. See that right here? Watch. We have literally, what do we have? We have 236, upside down and backwards. We're going to read it left to right. We're going to go up a little bit. 236 is two things. It's 3 plus 6 is 9. And that fits perfect for 2-9 going into 2-10 being the year of the dragon. It was the year of the rabbit, which is in an iPad Goat as well, the rabbit that's behind Lily. And then it's going into the dragon, the year of the dragon on 2-10. Okay, this also is a number for the birth of the Antichrist within the new year, which is 236. Again, 3 is 2 and 1, and 6 is 2 and 4. So February 21st, 24. Okay, and then on Psalm 23, the graffiti in iPad Go, when it pulls out from Obama being in the classroom, you got Psalm 23 right here, right? Well, the Lord showed me, Jesus showed me a few years ago, almost 4 years ago now, that in this is Obama. It's O-B-A, and then there's a clock hand a little bit after 3. And I know this for a lot of different reasons, because it's a little bit after 3 in New York, and it's going to be a little bit after 9 the previous day. The 20th is going to be a little bit after 9. The 20th, there's several places iPad Go that shows a clock hand, a little bit after 9 in Hawaii, a little bit after 3 in New York. And this is another one of them right here, and you see the 3 right here. The clock hand, the big, the little after 3 right here, because the hand's not exactly horizontal. It's going down a little bit. It's a little bit after 3. And then from that 3 is a lightning bolt coming down. Obama, lightning. And then we have here, 6, 2, 3. And then see how it is? See that 6, 2, 3? So literally we have O-B-A-M. And then in this little 3 is an A. It's right in here. It's down here is an A. O-B-A-M-A. And then that 3 goes, and then that A becomes half a 3. And that 3 then is lightning. Get it? And what's lightning? When does lightning fall? On 236 or 623. Remember, 2 is 2. 3 is made up of 2 plus 1, 221, and 6 is 2 plus 4. Decompress. Again, they're hiding this and decompressing the numbers. So, and that fits perfectly for all the things I've been talking about for years. It fits perfectly in the timeline. It's everything. So, and by the way, 623 is Obama already, because in Jewish gematria, Barack Hussein Obama is 623. Again, 6 is 2 and 4, the year, 2, and then 3 is 2 and 1, hiding 2 and 1, 221, 24. Boom, bam, and it just keeps coming. I'm just going to keep bringing it. Then, he's looking down at the lily that just opened up and everything, and this is not sweat. this is something else, because over here, unfortunately, there's a penis and there's some stuff on the chalkboard right here, and then it comes down his forehead. It's about something else, and then that's a V. This is a whole scene. This is a whole like scene of a video going down like this, but I paused on these two spots and then put these two frames together. So we have V, which is 22, and upside down J, which is 10. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to go 22 and then bring the 10. And what do we have here? But remember, J, okay, we could do it this way, but I'll just do it this way. Make it super simple. If we could also do it, J is upside down. So if we turn 10 upside down, it's 2201. And that's 220 plus 1 is 221. Okay, or if we go and look at it this way, 2, 2, and 10, we have 2 and then 21. And then 10, and then 0 is O. Okay, so 2, 21, and then 0 being O, and O is 15 or 6, and 6 is made up of 2 and 4. So 2, 21, 24, or we could do 22, and then J, which is 10 upside down, it would be 0, 1. That'd be 20, 220 plus 1. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a few ways to do it. It's crazy. Another 6, I found several of them, and I'm rehashing a few of them, and I'm showing you some new ones here. In this 6-paned window, if you go, normally, people read most, especially American, this is American, basically, cultures, we read left to right, top to bottom. So Obama's in this square, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, left to right, and then that's going top to bottom. So first is 6, and then top to bottom is 1, 2. That's a 2. And then bottom, across the bottom is 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3. See how that is? These are puzzles. These are animated puzzles and symbolic pictures, and with a timeline. That is a timeline. There's symbolic animated pictures that are and video that's are timelines. It's crazy, and time frames and times. It's crazy. That's what all this is. That's why they do it in an animated version versus live action, because you can put so many weird things in here and put them all together, and people go, okay, it's just a weird video, a weird animated movie, right? No, it's all a timeline. It's telling you information. It's got to decode it, and that's what I've been doing. And I assure you, it's predicted. And with understanding, it's shown over 60 events that's predicted ahead of time. And then now these events that are coming are going to be already predicted through this video, this movie. It's crazy. Okay, so watch here, right here. Boom. Look at her. So her hair is a 6. See that 6? And then this is an upside down 23. I'll show you. Flip it back, flip it up. We have 623. Because this is right on top of this. We just flip that over. That's a 2 and a 3. 2, 3, 6, 2, 3. There we go. Or 2, 3. So the year 2, 4, 2, and then hiding 2 and 1. Bam. And then here's the scene with the birth of the Antichrist at the very end, right? Well, this is hiding 2, 3, 6 as well. Watch. Boom. This is obviously a 2 if you look sideways. I'm going to flip this sideways in a second. This is a 2 sideways, and this is an obvious 3 sideways, and then this is a big old 6. Big old 6. So now I flip this sideways, you got 2, 3, 6. And also within this 6 is upside down 9 and then 1 and then 1. But anyway, that's another thing. But look, 2, 3, 6. Now I'm going to put these together like this. Now look, see how this is a 2, see, and this is a 3. And then see how these two are together in a sense. So this is separate. See how the top of this 2 is going into this 3, because that shows you that's 23, and then 6 in a sense. Okay, so you can look at it a few different ways: 23, 6, or 6, 23, whatever. But that's how it is. That's what's in there. Believe it or not, it's in there. These aren't just shapes that accidentally become a 2 and a 3 and a 6. And all that, not even close. And then here again, 2, 3, 9. You flip the 9 to a 6, and you got 2, 3, 6, 2, 21, 24. Boom, and that's Kim Jong-un right there, and with video and everything. That's all predictive programming. The attack on the United States, and which South Korea may be directly part of that. It looks like it. Okay, and then here's a video. Here's a video with Rihanna, who did the Super Bowl last year. That's a quick hitting, right? No. And it's Shut Up and Drive or whatever song, which is in Wreck-It Ralph, and there's all kinds of stuff with that as well. Watch this. In this situation, we're going to go 9 plus 3 is 12, and then 2. And we're going to save this 1 right here. See, 9 plus 3 is 12, and 2. Now, what's this? 3. B is obviously 2 and 2, so that's 3, 2, 2. 3, 2, 2. Okay, that's skull and bones, sure, but it's more. This is all... Now, take this 1 right here that was over here, right? Well, remember in my first video, if you haven't watched it, you got to watch it. There's a circular thing. There's the Ouroboros circle. So the 1 is right here, and it goes all the way around and right there. So when you attach the 1 over here, it's a +1. So now read it backwards, exactly backwards. February 21st, 2023 +1. February 21st, 2024. The exact day. Telling you. Shut up and drive. Okay, anyway. And then right here is another one. And he says, Bleep gonna get my money. Bleep gonna give him my money. This psycho stuff. Anyway, and that's all the numbers as well. I'm going to get into all that. We've got 239 or 23. In this situation, we get rid of 9. When you have it with other numbers, the 9 can become gone. So we're going to get rid of the 9, and we're going to have 2, 3, or 2, 2, 1. 2, and then 3 is 2 and 1. Now, what's SLT? SLT is S is 19, but take away the 9 because anything you add 9 stays the same. So you got 1 for S. And then L is 12, 1 and 2. And then T is 20. Now, what is this? So we got 20 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 24. 24. So again, we have 2, 21, or 21, 2, 24. 21st of February, 24. It's all right there. Okay, this is on the movie 23 with Jim Carrey, and he's all about, 23 is in everything, and it's all mystical and everything like that, and it's true, and it's about the Antichrist. He even talked about how 23 is not only what I'm saying, it's also 2 divided, these two numbers, they can also go 2 divided by 3 is 0.666. Okay, and then like I said, 23 is hiding 2, and then 3 is 2 and 1. So that's 221. So the birth of the Antichrist, 666 on 221 is 23. That's why when you see 23 on Sticky B.O.'s uniform when he was playing basketball in high school, supposedly if that even happened, then there you go. Birth of the Antichrist, 666 on 221. And then if that's why was on Michael Jordan's, the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time, which is GOAT, and Sticky B.O. is the GOAT, or the Baphomet, God of all things, greatest of all time, God of all things. Anyway, GOAT, crazy, okay? And even LeBron James had 23, another one of the greats of all time, as the people say, GOAT, GOAT, because that's Obama, Sticky B.O. And in this movie, also 23, he's taken this person's name, Isabel Lido Hunt, and he's taken her name, and what I've been showing you, how you reduce, and then watch this, you decompress, but that's not how you actually decompress. You can just take 6 and 2. Oh, he's compressing there. He's compressing, and then he's compressing again. He's doing it a little bit differently. Well, yeah, this is not really how it's done completely. There's a couple things that are true about this, but you get this idea. I just saw this recently. I didn't notice this before or anything like that, and I haven't really watched the whole movie because it's annoying as hell to me. But anyway, so but right here you got A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals C, C equals C. All this gematria stuff is in movies and stuff, hidden sometimes, but this is more about it. But he shows some methods. But see, you got the name, and then it comes down to equaling 23. See? And there's some compression and decompression in here in a sense, but it's not quite done right because they're not going to show you exactly how to do it, of course, because they don't want you to break the codes. They can show you some form of it. So here you go. And then check this out. The show Lost, I was on a while back. Lost is this guy. They're finally getting out of this situation. The system fails, and then there's the code right there of system failure. Now watch. Zoom into this. Get rid of 9. Anything out 9 is the same. Get rid of 9. Look, 220. And then 4 plus 4 plus 16 is 24. There you go. See? System failure on 2/20/24. I'm telling you. And you don't believe me, like, oh, I don't think so. Well, there's a lot of things in the show that I could show you that equal that, including the name. Look at Lost. It's LOST. 12, 15, 19, 20. Watch. Boom. So then we go, watch this. We're going to go, we're going to take this 12, and then we'll just do 1, 2, 1, and then 5 plus 9. We'll just take the 1, 2, 1 down, okay? And then 5 plus 19 is 24, and then we'll bring the 20 down, okay? Boom. Now watch. Then we're going to go next thing. We're going to go 1 and 21 is made up of 1 and 20, and obviously 24 and 20 right there, right? So now we're going to add these two together, and then we got 20 and 24 and 20. So it's 220, 24, 20, or 20, 24. I just didn't flip this, but you can flip that and flip that. But there you go, 220, 20, 24. And then what do we see earlier on this? 220, 24. It just wasn't the full, had the other 20 in 2024, but it's still the same date. See, confirming. And I have multiple of these on everything, but I just want to show you every single one because it's, like I said, it's be a 7-8 hour video or something. This is the end of the world movie with Seth Rogen and stuff in it. And look, this is the 239. There it is, 239 or 236. Again, that's 21st of February, and hidden in this code. And then we got 24 backwards, the year 24. See, 24. So February 21st, 24. And then what's also next to it? It's also this is also next to this. Look, 9 plus 6 plus 9 is 24. So this is proving that. So what I'm going to say again, we don't have to worry about the year on this. We get rid of the 9, or we can just 3 plus 9 is 12, and backwards is 21st of February, 21st of February, 24, 21st of February, 9 plus 6 plus 9 is 24. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's all this. Now look at this. This is Shawshank Redemption. Okay, Shawshank Redemption, this character, it's in several people's numbers in Shawshank Redemption, including Andy, the main character, and then this character here, I can forget his name again, Morgan Freeman's character. And there's another couple guys that have versions of this on their thing. It's crazy. I could prove it like 10 ways from Sunday. I mean, it's crazy. Watch. 3 is 2 and 1. And again, 2 and then 6 is 2, 4. There you go. 21st of February, 24. See, there it is again. Why do these keep showing up? Because they're hiding the same code. And there's different versions of the same code, but they're all the same. Now watch. This is a Black Eyed Peas album called Someday. So, whoa, I wonder what they're circling here. We got 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I wonder what this is. They're circling 23. Because 23, like I showed you, is 2. And 3 is 2 and 1. Okay, now let's do the first letter codes. The Black Eyed Peas. TBEP. TBEP, the Black Eyed Peas. Okay, first letter code. T is 20, B is 2, E is 5, 15. Watch this. 20, okay. Then we have, excuse me. What am I doing here? Yeah, sorry, that's what it was. Okay, sorry. 20, bring that 20. 2 plus 5 plus 16 is 23. The 7 plus 16 is 23. Okay, boom. Now we have someday. First letter code of S, and someday is just S because they make this one word. Okay, these are separate words. So you have first letters from each one. Now we have someday, just S. First letter on S is 19. Anything you add 9 to the same, so get rid of the 9. So literally have 221, like you saw in the Rihanna video with the red car. Ferrari or whatever it was, 221, 2023 plus 1, 221, 2023 plus 1 is 24, 221, 24, 2024. Boom, all the way down. See how that is? Boom, breaking the code left and right. This is a scene from Transformers. There was like a fight in this from the first Transformers movie, and there it is right there. You can look at it anytime if you want to watch it, check it out. We're going to get rid of the 9 here. We're going to go backwards. 3 plus 3 is 2 and 1, February 21st, 2024. It's right there, right in front of your face. It's on all these, and people just like, all they see is the 923, and they don't realize the years right there or hidden somehow. And I'm showing it all over the place. I'll keep showing it. Okay, again, I23. I is 9. I is the 9th letter of the alphabet, and that's an I right there. And upside down is 6, which is 2 and 4, and then 2, and then 2, 1. Hiding 2, 1. There you go. Boom. Simpsons. Simpsons again, right here. 2, 2, 1. Or February 20th plus 1 is February 21st, and then flip 9 upside down to 6, which is 2, 4. So we literally have both days in 2024. So we got February 20th plus 1 is February 21st, and then flip this upside down and backwards. Or you could take this whole thing and flip it upside down and backwards. You literally have 1, 2, 0, 2, 2, 24, and then you say it backwards. It'd be 24, 220, plus 1. I mean, it's right there. Hopefully you see that. It's crazy. It's all right there. 220 and 221, and then 6 is 2 and 4. Bam. There it is again. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 9. You can get rid of the 1 if you want. and then you have 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, and the 9, or however you want to do it. So a few ways to do it sometimes. Okay, now watch this. Again, the 239, it was how many pounds he wants to get to 300 pounds or whatever, this dream or whatever, right? Now, 239, we know is, I'm telling you, is 2, 2, 1, because 3 is made up of 2 and 1, and that's a 6, upside down is a 6, and that's 2 and 4, right? Well, what's this? This is really crazy. In fact, my brother Constantine pointed this out to me when I shared this with him. I'm showing him this. He's like, oh my goodness, this is the 300th lumen. This is an eclipse. See how this pot is in front of this, and it's in front of the sun? It's an eclipse. This is the 300 lumation of the millennium. This is crazy, okay? This is the 300 illumination of the millennium. What does that mean? Lunation, millennium lunation. I'm going to share with this. So this is symbolizing the next eclipse that's going to happen. On 4/8/24. April 8, 24 is the 300th lunation of the millennium. The first one started in 2000. And now in 2024 we're going to the 300th lunation. Now I'm going to explain what that is in a second, but if you go from this day 2/21/24 to 4/8/24, that's exactly 47 days. Okay, now watch. See this path, this purple path equals 47, and that's exactly 47 days from this to that. Is that coinciding? Nope. It's also Green Mountain. This is a green mountain. Green Mountain is 66. So we got reverse full reduction and full reduction. These are exactly the opposite of each other, but they're both a form of full reduction. Why is that important? Because with from this day, if you include the day, from this day to that day, it's 6 weeks and 6 days. And there's more. Road to Success is first letter code. When you add them up, 48. And if you include the day and go to that day, you have 48 days. 47 days on Purple Path, or RTS, Road to Success, add these up, and you have 48. When you include the day, it's 48 days from that day to that day. But by the way, it's kind of funny, 48 days, which is 4/8, and that's 4/8 from there to there. So, I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. So what I mean by lunation is the total solar eclipse of 2024, April 8th. That's so funny that they say the year and then they see a lot of these. I show the year and then the date, and so they wonder, oh, see, there's an example of that in a different order. But 2024 April 8th is the 300th lunation, and it's a millennial lunation. And I'm gonna explain that. So what that is each time. So it restarted from the numbers on each millennium. So in 2000. From 1/1/2000, okay, and moving on each lunation. And so a lunation is when the moon is solid black. Okay, when the moon is solid black, that's a new moon, and then at that exact point it's solid black, then it becomes lit up. It's a little tiny sliver, and then the sun starts hitting it. That's the beginning of the lunation. And then the sliver goes all across the moon, and it goes all the way across until it's all lit up to a full moon, and it goes back down to a new moon again, right? So that from new moon to new moon, from black moon to black moon, is one lunation. So we're with this eclipse coming up, which is a black moon in front of a bright sun, okay, or an eclipse, that is the 300th lunation, as the movie 300. And the birth of the Antichrist. See, this is symbolic. This is Xerxes in the movie 300. Xerxes, the symbolic Antichrist that rules the whole earth, and this pretty much destroys everybody, ruins everybody, destroys everybody. And this is the 300, which is in this lunation. See, this is the moon, and this is the sun. See the sun? This is the eclipse that's going to happen on 4/8. 4/8/24 is the 300th lunation of the 2000s. All of 2000, the whole millennium, from all of 2000s to 3000. So this is the 300th lunation. And it just happens to be sitting right in the solid black moon, and with the sun behind it. See the sun behind it here? And that's showing the birth of the Antichrist, obviously. And then, of course, Xerxes represents the AC Antichrist. Okay, now watch. Now, in the movie, there's a lot of things going on. I'm getting everything because there's so much symbolism. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. It's redonkulous. Okay, here we go. So he's wounded. He's got a head wound. Leonidas throws a spear and won't submit to him, and throws a spear and wounds his cheek. And I'm not going to get into all that, what cheek is and everything. It's just crazy. But he's got a head wound. Again, the Antichrist will have a head wound. He's symbolic of the Antichrist. Now watch. Now here he is. He's saying to him, I will give you what you want. Everything. You just bow down to me. Does that sound familiar? That's in the Bible. That's what the devil did with said to Jesus. I'll give you everything you want and do all this stuff. You just bow down to me. And then he's like, okay, I'll consider whatever. But he doesn't, right? Just like Jesus didn't, because he is Satan or Obama, again, example of the Antichrist, coming after the faithful. And who are the faithful? They are the lion, the Leo. He's the Leo that unites us. Leo, unite us. Leonidas. He's the Leo that unites us, the lion that unites us. He's coming after the church. And the ones that won't bow down are going to be taken away, and then he'll come after the rest of us. This is the Leo that unites us. Leonidas. That's so crazy. So crazy what the Lord shows me. Oh my goodness, Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus. So he won't bow down, so he's going to fight. Okay, so anyway, in Xerxes is, as you notice here, look at Xerxes. It's got X and X. See that? Now, in that, how the clue on Xerxes is just the two crossings. The two crossings that happened. This is October 14th, and then the crossing of the one that's going to be on 4/8. And this is way back 6+ years, almost 7 years ago, not quite 7 years ago, with the first Great American Eclipse that came through. So these two crossings mark out the two endpoints of the birth of the Antichrist in the middle. And so these X's in the name of Xerxes represent the crossings. And then these letters left over are the date that's the birth of the Antichrist in between the crossings. The dates of the crossings. So you have 10/14 and you have 10/8. 4/8. Okay, in between is the birth of the Antichrist on 2/21/2024. I'm going to prove that in this. This is so crazy. The 300th millennium lunation is right here, and it's between these two. Xerxes, ready for this? This is mind-blowing. I can't believe it. The Lord's showing me all this stuff. ER is 5/18. ES is 5. E is 5. So again, E is 5, R is 18. E is 5, S is 19. Now watch. 5 plus 18 is 23. Remember, 23 is 2, and 3 is hiding 2 and 1. And then 5 plus 19 is 24. We literally have 21, 24, or 2, 21, 24. And that's in between right here, these two, right in here. More towards this than that. But there it is. That's what it's showing. The birth of the Antichrist, and then ultimately the complete game over of the ones who are still on the earth, the faithful on the earth are still on the earth. Well, on the earth, that point when the faithful are first taken, there's a rapture, but then there's people that aren't faithful that left the earth, and they become faithful, and they end up not taking the mark, and the Antichrist goes after them to hunt them, and they're symbolic of that 300 as well. He bends to hunt them. Okay, but the faithful before that escaped, and I'm gonna show that to you in a second here too. So this represents also X and X in Xerxes. X and X, we represent the chromosomes. X and X, or two X's as a female, an X and a Y as a male. So it's saying the birth of the queen. It's not a king, it's a queen. The birth of a queen. X and X. In between here, in between the two X's. X's marks the spot. Okay. Birth of the queen. And there's the queen. This was last year's Super Bowl on 2/12, which is 12 or 21/2 backwards. Okay, birth of the Antichrist. She's pregnant, going to have birth of the Antichrist. She's the scarlet woman woman arrayed in scarlet, the blasphemous woman in scarlet. Okay, parading that around, and she's the Antichrist. She is Isis. Why? Well, Rihanna gets goddess Isis tattooed on her chest in memory of her late grandmother, and this was September 9th. By the way, this is when Jupiter came out of Virgo. 2017 was when Jupiter came out of Virgo. In September 999, and then the birth of that was the actual birth, and then the future birth is backwards 21/2. 21/2. It was year 2012 or 21/2. Birth. Jupiter came out of Virgo, and then and lightning falling from heaven on 21/2, 21st of February backwards. And then watch. This was from a GQ cover, and I had to cover up her breasts because they're kind of hanging out. Unfortunately, it's ridiculous, these people. And then look, the Isis tattoo to confirm that story, and that is Isis. See, Isis. And I was told 2 years ago in February, in a dream, Jesus said Isis is born on 2/10. And then, of course, he's also born on 2/21. 2/10 is the first day, 2/21 is the day that lightning falls from heaven. Proving it left and right. Hello. Is this thing on? Hello, McFly. Hello. Okay. Crazy, man. I'm just so blown away by this. Okay. And then the birth of the queen. I was saying the birth of the queen, right? The queen, the Scarlet Woman, whatever. The queen, right? The female. Well, then the birth of the queen. She died on 9/8, right? 9/8, 9/9, really close. A lot of things with 9/8. Again, Stinky BO is going to die on the 8th, reported on the 8th day. The queen, which he is died on September 8th, the 8th day. And look, Queen Elizabeth II, her birthday is April 21st. Well, on the Roman calendar, on the Roman calendar, April's the second month. So that's 2/21, 2/21. Get rid of the 1 with the ruler cloud and get rid of the 9. Anything 9 stays the same. 2 and 6, okay, right? So 2/21, and then 20 is made up of 20 and 2 and 4. 2/21/2024 is the birth of the queen. The Xerxes, the XX chromosomes queen. And she has the same symbolic birth of, just look at April being the second month, 21, 2/21, right there, bam. And by the way, her birthday is on the opposite side of the year of 9, 1, and then 1. The 9 and 1 and then 1, the attack that happened. Because the 9, 1, and then 1 is the 254th day of the year with 111 days left over. And the 111th day of the year, her birthday has 254 days left over on the other side of 9, 1, and then 1. Bam. Okay, and then that's a birth of lightning the queen. Lightning the queen, the birth of the queen. I'm just showing the birth of the queen, and also lightning falls from heaven on that day. So it's the birth of lightning the queen. Say it fast. Lightning the queen, lightning the queen, lightning the queen. It sounds like lightning the queen. Lightning the queen. Again, these are homonyms. A lot of times they're symbolic. There's direct connection in all kinds of ways, including homonyms, things that sound similar or the same. That's how they fool people. Lightning the queen. So the day of the queen's birthday is the lightning, which is April 21st, or on the Roman calendar, 2/21. And then lightning falls on 2/21. There's lightning right there. And what's 9/5? Upside down and backwards is 5/6. 5/6 is 5 is hiding 2 and 3, and 6. There's the 2/3/6. And then 2/3/6 is that. Right there, lightning the queen. It's all over. I can give you so many examples. Cars, the movie Cars, the CARS, which is backwards, 3, 1, 9, and then 1. So it's basically 9/23 backwards, or 2/39. It's crazy. Okay, here's 2 directors, Brad Bird and what is it? I know, Lasseter. Bird and Lasseter. Okay, Dan Lasseter and Brad Bird. These 2 are directors for Pixar / Disney / other movies like Mission Impossibles and all that stuff, and they have this code A113, and they say, oh, it's because we had this artistic stuff in this room A113 in college and whatever, and that cover story is a bunch of hooey. It's code. It's in all their movies, like A113, 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 and again they say it because that's where the origins were from this class they all went to, in classroom they all went to, and it's bull because it's code for the birth of the Antichrist. Of course, it's Antichrist on 2/3. Or it's also a number of things, but it's all these movies, including Mission Impossible. There's a scene from a Mission Impossible movie, A113, little thing that pokes out there. Anyway, a lot of things. Even in the Simpsons, A113, I guess probably Lasser or somebody, or maybe Bird directed some episodes of Simpsons or something. They put in all these. That's their excuse, but really it's programming. So let me show you this. This is from A Bug's Life, and how this is exactly the day of birth of the Antichrist and the year. So A is 1, of course. Again, we're going to act like this is a full number because you have this hyphen right here. We have A, which is 1, and then we have 113. So we take 113, we're just going to switch them. 113, and then 1 is A, right? Then so we're going to do a 1. And then we have 1195, right? Watch this. Because you can switch the numbers anytime you want. I've shared that many times. You just switch numbers, just change position, because it's back, in a sense, it's backwards. You're switching their position. Okay, in a sense. Okay, so that's 113. Now watch. The next level is 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 is decompressed into 2 and 1. And then bring down 1. And then we're going to go ahead and do 1. Instead of 119, we're going to switch the 1 and the 9 to 191. See, 119 is going to be 191. So we're just switching the 1 and the 9 to 9 and 1 right here. And then we bring down the 5. Hopefully that makes sense. Boom. 121. 1 plus 19 is 20. 1 plus 5 is 6. Keep going. 2, 21, 20, and the 6 is made up of 2 and 4. So that goes to that. The birth of the Antichrist. And that's what's hiding there. It's not just this stupid code. And even if you just did it this way, if let's say A is 1, well, I'll show it this way. Even in Family Guy or whatever is this. Whatever this one was on Fox. I think we might have Family. No, American Dad. It says right here, American Dad. It's American Dad, A113 on a boxcar. Now watch this. Another way the Lord showed me how this works. It's both the month and day and the year. Because, see, these are two different things. So you could go by this together or separate. So with Rula Kalel, you could take away 1. So A is a 1, so you can, and because A is different and obviously is different, so you can take it away. So then you have 2, 3. Well, again, what's 2, 3? 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 3 is made up of 2 and 1. And then, or you can just take it away, or you can include it. So A is 1, so then you have 1, 1, 1, 3. So you got 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 3 is 4. So literally, if this is the month and day, there it is, 221. And if it's the year, it's 24. So together, month, day, and year, and two different ways of looking at it. Month and day is boom there. Or if you wonder, hey, what years is it going to be? 24. So it's together, it's 221, 24. That's how some coding's done. It's crazy. And how about Back to the Future? Back to the Future. The lightning struck at 10:04. Why is that? You want to break the code of this? There it is. Here, it's right in front of you. 10:04. By the way, this is the dragon. This is the year of the dragon. See how this lightning is a dragon? See the mouth, the legs? It's a dragon. The mouth. It looks like almost like a Chinese dragon. Some of them are really long and skinny, and then they have the legs sticking out. That is a dragon or lightning falling from heaven. Barack Obama, okay, on 10:04. And what is that? That's 10, and then 4 is made up of 2 plus 2. Just turn that upside down and backwards, and you got 220 plus 1. 220, February 20th, plus 1. Or if you want to go 221 and then O is 0, 0 is O, and that 6 is 24. You have 221, 24, or just 220 plus 1 is 220 and 221. It's multiple ways. See that? I'm telling you, code broken. Code broken. Okay, if all this happens, One World Trade Center the same way. 1 and 22 backwards is 2201. See, is that a coincidence? Why would that be? One World Trade Center, when the One World starts, is 104. That's 1022. Backwards is 2201. 22001. See, just like that one. Just like that one. Now let's look at the Twin Towers. Twin Towers, those that happen in 9 ones and onesels. Okay, watch this. Okay, they were both 110 stories. You had two of them together, so you add them together, and you got 220. Birth of the Antichrist, February 20th. And then we had what ran into them? Planes. To confirm this even more. So you're like, yeah, right. That just happened to be that way. It's all coincidence. That, the coincidence that you add them together is 220. And that's February 20th. That's coincidence. Well, let's take planes. Planes that actually crash into these things, right? There's planes. Boom. Bring down 16. We'll switch the 1 and the 2 to 2 and 1. We take this 1 and 1 and make it 2. Bring down the 4. 5 plus 19 is 24. Let's keep going. We're going to take, sometimes I forget what I did here. Oh, that's right. We just take the 21 and 16 and switch it. We put this 21 over here and the 16 over here, okay? And then this becomes a 24. 24 is made up of 4 and 20, and then we just bring this 24 down. So now we have 2, and then we have 1 plus 16 plus 4 is 21. Bring down the 20, bring down the 4, 221, 20, 24. And that's a massive coincidence. This was 220 the first day, and this is 221, and the year. I don't think so. Not a coinkydink. Okay, and then planes. See how this is planes is 221. Not only do we have Cars, which I said is 923. Planes is a Disney movie, and that we know what that equals right there. We're gonna have to do it again. There it is. Planes equals that. That's why they have a movie called Planes, because it literally equals that. And then I guarantee you, I can find a ton of stuff I haven't done on this movie. I can find a ton of stuff that adds up as 923s and 221s and 220s and all kinds of stuff. I guarantee it. So, and then watch Twin Towers. Not only to even support this even more, Twin Towers in the words is boom, first letter code. Watch, T is 20, but in this situation, I'm going to take away the 0 and bring the 2 down. And then we'll do the first letters first letters. Sometimes you do them last, these first. But in this case, 2, and then we have 20. We're going to keep that like that. Then N is 14, but 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 19 is 24. Boom. And it just happens to be 220. That just happens to be 220-24. I don't think so. And now let's go even farther. Let's take the full amount of Twin Towers. The whole thing, whole shebang. Now we're going to get rid of 9s, because you got to get rid of them because there's lots of it. Get rid of 9s. So we got 9, and then when 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is 9. Get rid of that. See, 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is 9. Get rid of that 9, and we're going to get rid of this 9. You get rid of selective 9s. I go through here, and I look through here, and I see, when I'm at the end, I go, oh, okay, I see why this 9 should be over here. Now watch. But you'll see. Boom. So, you can excuse me. I'm going to take the 0 away from here, and bring the 2 down. Bring this 1 down here. Bring this 20 right down here. 15 plus 2 plus 3 is 20. 5 plus 19 is 24. I'm telling you, look at how easily that works. It's so crazy. Then we got 2. 1 plus 20 obviously is 21. 20 and 24. This is so simple, it's not even funny. And this is straight across easy. Boom. 221-24. This is 220 the first day. This is the second day. We have that all here in planes as well. We have 220-24 in Twin Towers. And first and last of the code. We have it in planes right here in the full name. I mean, it's all over. Both dates, the exact day, month, and year, and everything. Are you kidding me? Now let's get into another current thing called the Squid Game, the challenge that was on Netflix. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, okay, if you care about it and you want to see, I'm going to tell you who wins at the end, okay, and why. Okay, spoiler alert. By the way, all these numbers have to do with, they have tons of people's numbers on everything for a reason, and all this symbolic, and I'm going to show you a few things. First of all is circle, triangle, square. By the way, there's a song, circle, triangle, square for kids. Circle, triangle, square. Why? Because circle, triangle, square is 323 in reversing ordinal. And what else is? Barack Hussein Obama, 323. Because it's a worship of him. And it's also the date of his birth. So it's him and the date of his birth. And what is that? Circle, triangle, square. And what is that? First letter code. C, T, S, and E, E, E. Let's start with C. C is 3 is 2 and 1. And then we have what? Yeah, sorry, that's what, brain fart for a second. This is how we do it. So 3 is 2 and 1, and we're taking the 19, bring it down here, and we're going to take this 20 and put it right there. Boom. And then we have 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. But remember, 15 is 1 plus 5 is also 6. I'm just showing that as an example there, right there. So we got 2, 1, 19 comes from there, 20, because you can decompress or compress numbers anytime. Any numbers by each other can become any kind of number. That's how they do this. Okay, I'm proving it to you left and right here. So watch. Bring this down. We got 2. Bring down. 1 plus 19 is 20. And bring down this 20. And then we have, what's 6? 15 is 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 is made up of 2 and 4. So we literally have 2, 20, 20, 24. That's the date of whose birth? Stinky B.O. His date, circle, triangle, square, which is Barack Hussein Obama, and his date of 2/20/2024. Exactly. How could these keep happening and not even out by 1 digit? Because it's real. It's true. Boom. Okay, now. Okay, again, spoiler alert. She wins this. Now, this is crazy. So, immediately look. Later on, she puts her hair down and everything, but she's wearing glasses and her hair is all pulled up like this. it looks like a man. It when I say it, I mean she or it, whatever. Looks like a man and a woman at the same time. But that's on purpose because Stinky BO is both a man and a woman. A clone of he's a Baphomet clone or what do you call it? A hermaphrodite, basically, or Baphomet. Okay, hermaphrodite. So, and then so there's all this constant thing of the blending of the two. That's why they want to blend these two together, male and female things. I'm trying to say that. Okay, I'll say that. That's why they do that. I'll just say it that way. I almost said so much. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's why they want to blend because it's both. Okay, say it that way. Okay, that was for comedy, by the way. Comedy, folks. Anyway, and truth. Okay, so anyway, man, I hope I didn't step it. There's some things there's algorithms that you don't say on YouTube, and you could get and I hope so leave it at that. Okay, so anyway, this blending is both malesels and femalesels together, and you have black and white both, which he is also both supposedly black and white. Okay, and then all these things. It's so crazy about all this. Okay, and then for example, bow tie in English Sumerian is 444. Lucifer is 444. Bunch of things. Now let's get into this right here. And then it came down to three people that we're gonna see the three people against each other on the Squid Game, the challenge, whatever. And this person and then this person Phil, and this other person I forget who it was. Anyway, and see this Masonic board here, Masonic floor, and we have 111. Okay, again, what's the 111th day of the year? April 21st. April 21st on the Roman calendar is 221, birth of the Antichrist. It's many things. It's also III, which is 999 upside down backwards is 666. It's LLL. What's LLL? 12, 12, and 12. It's 12 being February, the 12th month of the Roman calendar, and then 12 plus 12 is 24. 12, 24, the last day of on my I think the last day of the age of grace. All kinds of things in here. Anyway. See the occultic stuff and all this. It's crazy. And the gold. They're going to the golden age. And the portal. And then the O and the X and the squares. And we got deltazels, omicronzels, and then going into the next age is the doorway, which the doorway to the next age is the square. Anyway, okay, now watch. She is 287, boom, and then upside down and backwards, L82. What's L82? L is 12, 8 plus 2 is 10. Then we just switch the 2 over here and the 1. And we have 2, 1, 1, 0, and that's 2, and then 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2, 0. There we go, 220. Now let's do the next thing. Her name, Mai. See how it's got this, where the A is, looks like that? Okay, because it can be upside down. Because that A becomes a V when it's upside down. That's why they do this. Because MAI becomes IVW. What's IVW? IVW, in this case also, it doesn't have to be an I. When you turn something upside down, it loses its properties and becomes what it looks like. So it can either be an I or a 1. So this is going to be a 1, and that's a V, and that's a W. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay? And so we're going to switch the 2, 2, and the 1, make it 1. Instead of 1, 2, 2, we're going to 2, 2, 1, and then leave the 23. And then now we're going to go 2, and then this becomes 21. This becomes 21. I'm skipping a step here. This becomes 21, which is 20 and 1. We're now 20, and 1 plus 23 is 24. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to skip some steps here and there, because I do every single tiny step all the time. It takes time. All right, boom. And then watch this. Okay, the Lord showed me very clearly, I could not believe it when he showed me this, is exactly backwards I am. I am. The false I am. The false I am. That's why she won. And they did it this way. She could do her name upside down and backwards. All these things. Her name upside down and backwards is 22024. And her number upside down and backwards ends up being 220. They're both the same day, the birth of the Antichrist. The birth of the false I am, which is my backwards. Are you kidding me? And then I am, like in, I am legend and and Invictus games I am and all kinds of stuff is 9, A is 1, M is 13, which is 923, and we know what 923 is. 221 is 9 is 6, which is 24, 221, 24. Boom. And speaking of I am, in Invictus games, it's right in the middle of Invictus games, I am. Okay, there's I am right there. See, 923. And they're looking at a picture of these two guys running. American guy. My voice, man. American guy and a British guy. Right? They're looking at this picture. And there it is, blowing up. What's going on here? I'm going to show you, again, a decode of this. If you didn't know, here it is. Ready? Bam. Okay, we've got 2 and then 3. We'll just do this. Yeah, so I'm going to say 2 and then 3 plus 9 is 12. We'll take that 12 and reverse it to 21. Okay, and then we have this. So we have 21 is made of 20 and 1. And then we add this 1 to 223, and it becomes 224. 220, 24. That's the decode of this. I'm telling you. And I'm proving by other things like this. Boom. He goes boom. And they're talking about that day secretly, boom, because there's going to be quite the booms. Because there's going to be nuclear stuff going on. Nuclear subs, Russian nuclear subs hitting 2 major islands on either the northeast corner of Africa is the Canary Islands, which is going to be La Palma Island. And then on the other side of the United States, on the west coast, off the west coast, is going to be Hawaii. They're going to hit both with nuclear booms and cause mass tsunamis, hit both coasts. Wipe out both towers. So anyway, he's saying boom, boom. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Boom is B is 2. O's are 15 or 6. 6 and 6 is 12. And then M is 13. Now turn this upside down and backwards. You got E1, 21, and 2. E1 is 5. 1 is 6. And then 6 is made up of 2 and 4. 21 and 2. We literally have backwards. 2, 21, 24. Now, we're not spelling them, we're not kind of writing them out backwards. We're just doing each number backwards. 2, 21, 24. See, there it is. Boom. 220, 20, 24, and 221, 24. Boom, and then this thing. I'm telling you, and there's even more like this. In the beginning of the video here, to confirm this even more, we have 1815 military time on Wednesday, 27th of April. Float is calling, the First Lady of the United States calling Harry. Okay, so that is 9:15 is what it really is, and it's upside down and backwards. 516. What's that? 5 is made up of 2 and 3, and then 1 6. We're gonna keep reducing because that's what this goes to. 2 3 1 6. Reduce. So we got 2. We got 2. 3 is 2 and 1, and bring down the 1, and 6 is 2 and 4. And then we're going a little bit farther because 2, and then we have 20 is 20. 21 is 20 and 1. So 20 and 1. 1 add to this one, and you have 20, 220, 20, 24. Telling you, it's right there. Oh, that makes sense. It reduces. I skipped a step right there on purpose because I wanted to fit it right in here. But basically, 2 comes down. 3 is 2 and 1. That becomes 21. 21 is 20 and 1. This 1 adds to this one, become a 2. And then we have 20. 220. These 2 add up to be a 2. 220, 20, 24. Showing you, massively proving it. Bam, bam, bam. I'm not Emerald, but bam. Okay, so, and then right here, Wednesday, the 27th of April. 27th of April is 117th day of the year. I'm seeing this all over the place. I've seen this for many years. 711 or 117. Now watch. What's 117? Again, upside down and backwards. 117 upside down and backwards is L11. What's L11? L is 12, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. We saw this. 122 is San Francisco. 122 is Kansas City. 122 is that same Super Bowl. That was Super Bowl 54. That had that first Super Bowl that had Kansas City and San Francisco in it. Had Shakira as a singer. Shakira is 122 as well. I forgot to mention that, but I mentioned that in previous videos. And then that upside down and backwards is 221, the birth of the Antichrist. You got 221 and 220, 2024. And all the other stuff I showed you. Boom, and the 2 guys running with all that. That's all these dates, same dates. Same, it's simple. And here, look, this is the newest Halo series. And you've got Master Chief 117. Just like I showed you, 117. Why? Because of all these numbers, I'm telling you. And then he's shot down. His ship is shot down by this lightning bolt machine, or lightning bolt gun. Lightning shot out, lightning falling from heaven or shooting out 27 or 117. 1 plus 1 is 27. 27. That's what the number of this thing is. 27 or 117. Boom, and it shoots. It hits this thing. It goes down, and this is the guy he's a bad guy in a sense, working for the world government, and he becomes a good guy. I mean, there's so much symbolism with Obama. It's crazy. And the number of his ship is 325. Why is that important? Because February 10th is the 41st day of the year with 325 days left over. February 10th, the first day, the birth of the Antichrist. And then if we look at this as a main day, same thing. Wow, birth of the Antichrist. Because November 20th is the 325th day of the year with 41 days left over. And November 20th equals 1120 or 2. 1 plus 1 is 220. 220 and 210 of birth of the Antichrist. First day and lightning falling from heaven day. November is 11, which becomes 2. 1 plus 1 is 220. 325. 325. Days left over. 325. They do either of these all the time. Bam, proving it. And then in this episode 2, I believe, is when he was young, this guy who's Master Chief 117, and he leaves this military compound that's completely has him locked down and controlled, and he leaves it to try and stop a friend of his from leaving and becoming free, and it's crazy. He goes out this exit door right here and closes it, and the door on the other side, it says exit, like it says right here. He goes out the door, it closes it, and the exit, it says 206. Well, that was so, I was like, wow. 206, it's right here, 206 is see, I always said 206 and not 206 because 0 is an O, is hiding an O, 206, like most people say it. Most people don't say 206, they say 206, even though it is a 0, but it's really hiding an O. That's why they say 206. So 206, O is 15 or 6, that's 266. Remember the 266 Pope and the 266 day of the year, or 2, 6 plus 6 is 12, or 21st of February, the birth of the Antichrist, and the exit. The exit of who? I'm going to show you who. Who's the exit? Why is there an exit? On iPad Go, you have the exit. By the way, what is in both that show and on iPad Go? What is exit? Exit literally has in the word the date of the exit. The date of the exit. E is 5, X is 24, I is 9, T is 20. Okay, boom. Bring down the 5. Switch the 9 and the 24 to 9 and 24 like that. 24, 9 or 9, 24. And bring down the 20. Switch that. So then we have 5 plus 9 is 14. Bring down the 24 and the 20. Okay, now we're going to take the 1 down. 4 is 2 plus 2, 24 and 20. And then all we're going to do is switch this 2 and this 1 to 1 and 2 to 2 and 1. And we have 21st of February, 2024. Oh, we can switch the 20 and the 20. 20 and the 24 right here. But 21st of February, 2024 is an exit, believe it or not. And that is the exit of who? Who is the exit? Well, let me tell you one more thing before I tell you who's going to exit. Is that we got another thing that shows the timing of this exit or the birth of the Antichrist and an exit, which is we got a buck rabbit and a buck deer. Buck rabbit and a buck deer. We even have Buck Rogers back here. Anyway, buck and buck. Buck is hiding the numbers as well. It's hiding the date as well. B, obviously, this is so obvious right here when I first saw it, I couldn't believe it. B is 2, U is 21. There it is, 221. And then C is 3, K is 11. Now watch this, it's so crazy. We literally even have it 221 in reverse. That is 2 and 3. Remember, 223 is 2 and hiding 2 and 1. So we literally have a mirror of 221 and 221. 221, 221. Or 221, 3. So 21 is made up of 20 and 1. And then we have 2, 3, or 23 backwards plus 1 is 220. 1 plus 23 is 220, 24. So we have in exit we have 221 or 21st of February 2024. In buck we have 220, 24. It's in there. It's solid. So who's exiting? It's the birth of the Antichrist and somebody's exiting. The faithful are exiting. And it's even in the name faithful in 2 ways. Even more than that, but I'm going to get into this. Faithful is first and last set of code. FF. This is a compound word, faith and full, because they're full of faith. It's a compound word. Two words. But even though this is, because they're put together, you get rid of one L. It doesn't matter. It's still two words, a compound word. Faithful, FF is 6, 6. H in faith, and L in the end of full, 8 and 12. All you do is 6 plus 6 is 12. 8 plus 12 is 20. And then that's just backwards. 2, 2, and then we just put the 0 over here. You can just switch the spot of just switch this 2, 2 and the 0. That's whatever. It ends up being backwards. 220 plus 1. A faithful leave on 220 plus 1. Or another way of looking at it, if first and last of the code, is do the full amount to even confirm that even more. That we have the full amount here. Boom. We're going to get rid of this 0 because they don't count zeros. And we're going to switch the 1 and the 6 here. 1, 6, 9. And then, what was the deal here? What did I do here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. Okay, so we switch the 1 and the 6 for 6 and 1. And bring down the 9. And then 2, we get rid of the 0. 2 plus 8 plus 6 is 16. And we're switching the 2 and 1 to 1 and 2. Just to switch right there. So that's 12 and 12. Boom. 1, 6 plus 5 is 6 plus 9 is 15. 1 and 6 bring down. 12 plus 12 is 24. Keep going. 1 plus 1 is 2. 5 plus 16 is 21. And 24 comes down. 221, 24. Exit of the faithful. And then that's 221, 24. And 220. We can even do 221 and then 6. O is 6, which is 24. 221, 24. And 221, 24. 221, 24. Proving faithful twice. That faithful is the exit of the faithful. Okay, just telling you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, but do not bow to him. Do not bow down to him. I don't want to do it. Okay, anyway, so there we go. I'm just going to leave it at that. Man, I covered a lot of stuff, and I hope it wasn't quite 2 hours, I don't think. So thank goodness. It was a little shorter, but it was a lot of slides, more than I've had in a while. But I covered a lot, so I just hope that makes sense. I think I've proven it, but we'll see. Could this not happen? Sure, it may not happen, but it also have a massive. There's still a massive chance it will happen, and I could be proven. And we'll find out in a few days on February 9th and 10th, and then going even into the Super Bowl and beyond. What happens here? It looks like it's going to, but we'll see. The numbers are insane. They're crazy. The symbols are insane and crazy. It looks like it's lining up completely, but we'll see. I do not know. The Lord won't tell me for sure. He'll just give me a lot of clues and things and show me what to share and everything. And then more people come aboard and see what's coming and everything, but we don't know until it actually happens. But it's looking like a massive possibility. And all the personal confirmation I get besides all this stuff, which is still massive. I even have some other massive stuff that'll blow your mind. I just couldn't fit on this video, and the Lord wanted me to go to this certain way. So I'm going to leave it at that. I guess I will ask. I just asked the Lord, should I ask for donations? I'm going to ask. So if you're able to give, I could really use it. I mean, if this doesn't happen, we're going to have to pay rent, and we'll be short on it right now. We are getting closer to that time. 10 days away or whatever, and this is the only way I make money, so that's so I'm gonna ask. So thank you so much. If you're able to give, we can use it. Family of 6, 4 kids, 2 of those are little twin 4-year-olds that are amazing, and they're all amazing. I'm just so blessed. I'm saying that just because my family is a blessing to me, and these little ones, and even my teenager daughter, she's amazing. I'm so proud of them, and my family, and my wife, and everything. I'm so thankful they support what we're doing, and they love how people support what I'm doing and everything, and they know what's going on. So, and they've had dreams and stuff, and visions and stuff as well as things. I've shared some of those in the past. Other ones are kind of private. The Lord's kept private, but amazing things about what's coming, rapture, and all kinds of stuff that a lot of them gotten. So it's just amazing. So if you're able to give, I appreciate it. Link below description box for PayPal. That's one way to give. Another way is Zelle Pay. If you're not a member, you can sign up at ZellePay.com. It's free. It doesn't cost anything for transfer stuff like PayPal does to the end user or anything like that. Also a PO box as well. Any other way, if you're able to, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. But if you feel moved, that's the biggest thing. If you feel moved by the Lord, I always ask people, if you ask and see what He says. And ultimately, we're supposed to bow down to Jesus and not to this jackwagon right here. We're not going to bow. I'm never going to bow down to him or his system that I'm in right now. That's why I fight every bit of it I can, and including the MASKs and anything like that. That whatever came out, I would never put one of those raggedy things on. Never would do that. I don't believe in but, what do you call it? Muzzling myself and all that stuff. That's really what that is, and all kinds of stuff. So I only bow to the Lord Jesus Himself. He's the one who's earned it for me and my family. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. This is God bless you. If you ever given, if you've ever positive comments, we cover your prayers. I got to say that too. We cover your prayers. Anything like that, anything positive you ever contributed to this channel and to me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And this is an opportunity. I'd like to thank everybody who's ever given, any regulars, and even if you're going to give for the first time, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you so much. I just can't even tell you how much I thank you. It means so much to me, and we'll see what happens. This could be it in February, and I just can't wait to be with the Lord. I just really can't. So, and have a completely different mission than I have right now. So anyway, this is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless you. Out.